Hey, everyone. I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who tune in to Mental Health Moment every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, welcome on back. Thanks for joining. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, it's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And for those of you who are tuning in to the replay on, for those of you who are tuning in to the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page, be sure to like this page, share this video, and subscribe to the page. So welcome. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you're new to mental health moment and are wondering what in the world is mental health moment is when you think about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. So again, welcome. Let me know in the comments where you may be tuning in from in the lovely chat here. For myself, I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, where it is still incredibly hot, and I'm waiting patiently, I don't know, for the weather to just calm down a little bit and not be in like the 90s every single day. But nonetheless, welcome. Let me know where you're tuning in from today in the chat. I'll go through a couple of quick announcements and then I'll share some tips with you all today as I normally do for those of you who are not new. But the first announcement I want to remind you all of is that I have recently started the Mental Reset community, inspired by you all, actually, because we talk a lot on Mental Health Moment about taking our mental resets. So you can join that community. It's completely free. It's takeyourmentalreset.com. Very top of the page, it'll say join the community. We're very super new, as I mentioned. But the whole goal of the community is for you to have a safe space for you to have your mental resets, because sometimes it's hard and sometimes life gets overwhelming and we forget, right? We forget to take a minute, we forget to check in with ourselves. So it's a space, like I said, a supportive space for you to take that time for you to take those mental resets. So again, you can join at takeyourmentalreset.com. And again, the community is completely free and I can't wait to see you all in there. So again, Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you're just now tuning in, I also have another announcement. Man, time is like flying, you all. So Saturday, August 29th, I will be speaking. This is open to the public. I will be speaking at the Mind Masters Wellness Workshop. If you are in the Tampa Bay area or plan to be in the Tampa Bay area on Saturday, August 29th, would love to see you. I will be speaking to parents about parental burnout, how to keep kids emotionally healthy. And the event also has a lot of really cool activities for upcoming 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So if you know of someone in the area, again, Tampa Bay area, that has a middle schooler, please invite them to the event. I'm going to put the link here for you all in the lovely chat. And I do apologize again for my LinkedIn family because for some reason these links never want to go into the LinkedIn chats. I don't know why, but I'm going to post it here. Hold on. Let me do that for you. At least let me paste it in here. Okay. This is a link to register, but it is at basically, if you Google, if you can't see the link, it's the Vincent Jackson Family Foundation. If you Google Vincent Jackson Family Foundation, Google that foundation, you'll see on the page where to register. And again, Mind Masters Wellness Workshop, Saturday, August 29th. It's a half-day event. And again, I'll be there in the morning speaking to parents specifically. And then there is different workshops for the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I say upcoming, but I forgot the school year's already started here, which is insane. So 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. But again, you can register at Vincent Jackson Family Foundation. You can Google that, or you can see the link if you're on, I believe, YouTube or Facebook. The link actually goes through. And I'm sorry again, LinkedIn cannot do that. I don't know why. Yeah, I think those are the two announcements for today. So again, thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And today, I have a question for you all before we start. Oh, hi. Welcome, welcome. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from today. Hopefully, I'll actually be able to see the comments, which is always lovely when I can, and technology likes to work. But before we start today, I do have a question for you all, and it relates to today's mental health moment. And I would love to hear from you all. Like, what do you all like to do for fun? Because I have found a lot of times it's so interesting in my journey, in my career, my journey and travels to different places, speaking to different communities. I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked to adults, I've talked to kids, I've talked to teens. And I feel like what tends to happen is as we get older, right, and get into our adult years, we forget to make sure we're also having fun. So let me know in the comments for you, or maybe right now you're like, you know what, I'm not really doing anything for fun, but I used to do what, right? Like, what is it that maybe you used to do for fun and you're not doing anymore, or something maybe you still are doing for fun, which would be great, right? If you are doing that, but let me know in the comments. And like I said, hopefully my comments will show up today, because I never know. But so the first thing I want to remind you all of today is that the reason why I asked you that question is because I do want you absolutely to remember what you used to enjoy, right? What tends to happen is life gets overwhelming. Things are going on maybe in your personal life or someone that you know, or if you're looking on social media, always a whole lot happening, right, in the world. And we tend to get overwhelmed and then we accidentally or purposely forget to have joy, right? We forget that we're still allowed to have fun. We're still allowed, no matter what season you're in, you're still allowed to have those moments of joy. So the first thing is, again, that's why I wanted you to, really think about for you, like, what is it that really truly brings you joy? What is it that you enjoy doing? Someone said, I enjoy going walking, going to women's events, quiet time, church events, things to do by yourself. I love that. I absolutely love that. And again, for you all, like, well, let me put an asterisk, as long as it's something healthy for you. All right. There's not really a right or wrong answer here. As far as what is it that you enjoy? What is it that you do for fun? Hi, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. So yeah, so let me know in the comments what it is for you that you would say, okay, this is something I enjoy now. Or a lot of times too, I've talked to people and they'll be like, man, I used to do something, but they don't do it anymore because again, life just got really overwhelming, or maybe there was a certain change in their life in some sort of way, or a move, or something happened, and it just sort of threw them off, and then they were realizing they weren't really having a whole lot of fun. Actually, I hear that a lot. I really actually hear that a lot in my travels, which is really fascinating. And you know what's interesting, you all? No matter where, I feel like no matter where I'm speaking at, so I've had the honor and I'm super grateful to speak in just a lot of different spaces in the US and outside of the US. But no matter what, I've really, really encountered people that have sort of paused and be like, man, I don't like spend the time doing things that are joyful anymore, because we've gotten so overwhelmed. So again, so think about what that is for you. And then the second thing I want you to think about is, like, it's really hard sometimes. I don't know where this came from. I don't know where this came from, actually. Many of us, myself too, was guilty at one point, but we somehow accidentally connected that we have to, like earn fun, like we have to earn our rest, like we have to do all these things and then we can have joy. And it's like, well, then sometimes we do so much stuff that we'll never get to the joy, to the joyous part, because we're so busy with all our responsibilities. Not to say, I know, I get it, we're all busy and we do have responsibilities and we do want to make sure things are done and we do want to check off all the things on our to-do list. And I get all that. However, sometimes if we're too focused on all of those things, we'll never have time for things that are fun. We'll never have time for things that are joyous, right? And our I mean, our minds and our bodies, our souls, like we need that. You need those moments. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. Maybe you're strapped for time for whatever reason in this season of your life, but the moments of joy you're allowed to have. Like, please make sure you have that, right? Please take those times for you. Someone said, "Hi from Colorado, welcome. Hanging out with friends, traveling, trying new things, dinner, Pilates with an exclamation point. Now with little kids, it's more about them. Wonderful, right? Because again, we're all going through different seasons of our lives. For some of you, like someone said, yes, when you have kids, right, is different. When they become teenagers, it'll be different. When they leave the house, it'll be different. Like we're in different seasons. For some of you, you have grandkids right now that may drive you crazy. And maybe you're happy when they leave the house and you're like, goodbye. I don't know. That's what I hear from grandparents. Sometimes they're like, I love them and goodbye. They go home to their parents. But nonetheless, no matter what season you're in, maybe you're working now, maybe you're retired, maybe you're in school, whatever your situation is, it's still important no matter what stage of your journey for you to find the time for you and for you to make sure that you're doing things that are fun for you. And sometimes, because I know I've talked to a lot of people, I know sometimes that I have heard, well, I don't have enough time. That's probably the number one thing I've heard is like, I don't have enough time. So if that's the case for you, again, wherever you're at right now in your journey, think about it's more about like training your brain to recognize when you need to find things that are joyous that don't even take a lot of time. I think I've talked about that 400 times on mental health moment, right? There's just so many things that do not take a lot of time that still bring us moments of joy. So this past weekend, I was in Atlanta this past weekend, and shout out to Marriott. Just saying, for giving me a really nice upgrade. Thank you, Marriott. But anyhow, I had the most amazing view of the city of Atlanta. It actually wasn't raining, which was nice. So it was a beautiful day. And so when I step into my hotel room, I'm just one of those people that go straight. I kind of like beeline to the window because I want to see the view. And the view was gorgeous, you all, like just stunningly gorgeous. And I share that with you because I really did, without going into a whole lot of detail, last week was a lot going on. We have our weeks, right? Like just weeks that are difficult. And that was one of them. But then I literally took a couple minutes actually. I always preach to you, I'll take a minute, but I took a couple minutes to just enjoy the view, right? Like I was like, you know what? Let me just reset my nervous system right now. Plus I was going into an event. So I wanted to make sure my energy was good. Doing all that, being around people, just something I would recommend for you all to do too. When you go into certain spaces of people, do your best to, just kind of reset yourself. But nonetheless, that, right, like those couple of minutes, just looking at how beautiful the city was. It was a beautiful day outside. The view was perfect. I was on like the 68th floor. I'm like, this is beautiful, right? And just taking that all in literally cost me a couple of minutes of my time, right? So it's really you all like finding, and that's something that's joyous to me anyway, just spending time in nature or looking at views out of hotel rooms or planes or wherever I'm at. So that is a thing that brings me a lot of joy. But again, it doesn't have to be that for you, obviously. But again, finding for you what is it that is joyous to you? What is it that in what way do you have fun? And making sure you're not accidentally punishing yourself by saying, no, I have to do all these things first and then I get to have fun, and then you never have fun and have joyous moments. Um, Someone said, "Yep, we got to take care of our mental health, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. We must take care of ourselves." Absolutely, positively, absolutely, positively true. I talk a lot in many of my books, but I talk a lot about what I call holistic self care. Absolutely, very true. To make sure that you're taking care of yourself in multiple areas of your life. Someone said, but it is different when you live with your grandchildren. Smile. Exactly. Well, yeah, we're all, like I said, we're all in different situations. So for some of you, yes, you may be living with your grandchildren. So maybe it's not okay, bye, see you later. Maybe you're actually living with them, which is all good, which is all good. Um, but again, and for some of you, that's another tip I wanted to remind you of today. For some of you, you might have to schedule, if you're a person that's very scheduled, and you're however that looks for you, you have to write things down or you have to put in some sort of calendar or your phone or wherever you remind yourself of things. If you literally have to schedule in some sort of fun and like having joy for yourself, do that then. Like if that's what it's going to take, because again, it is really easy to get caught up in the chaos sometimes of life. It's very easy to do that. It's very easy to pay attention to a lot of things besides ourselves, and then we accidentally neglect ourselves. That's actually something I've heard a gazillion times also in a lot of conversations with people, because it's an easy thing to do. But again, if you have to put it on your calendar, right? If you have to set an alarm, right? You all, I always preach my take a minute a day, the 60 seconds, like time yourself with your cell phone. If you have to set an alarm in the beginning to remind yourself, okay, this is my minute for me, 1 minute a day. And in that time, whatever it is that works for you, taking the walk outside or taking some deep breaths, or if you believe in prayer, if you need to sit down, have a cup of water, tea, or whatever it is that you need to reset yourself, that is absolutely positively allowed for you. You don't have to earn it, right? You don't have to like do something and earn that time. You deserve that time for you to take the time for your joy. Someone said they're here from Bangladesh. Welcome. Someone said truly. Oh, that you're responding to someone else about the grandkids again. But hi, well, hi, welcome, everyone. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you're just tuning in, because I know we've been like talking about a lot of different things, but sometimes people come in at all different times. So if you're just tuning in today, we're talking about how do you remind yourself that you are allowed to still have fun even as an adult, because it's easy as a kid, right? It's easy as a kid. We play more usually as a kid. We have the toys and all the things. It's just different in our childhoods. But then as we get older, we forget maybe we're not playing with toys anymore or Legos or whatever it was that you played with as a child, but there's still ways that we can find joy, right? So again, let me know in the comments. I know some of you already shared it, but let me know in the comments what that looks like for you. When you think about, okay, what are the things that really bring me joy? What are the things that either currently bring you joy or something you used to do that you're like, man, I haven't done this in so long, right? I think well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've shared on some mental health moment or another. But one of the things that got me through COVID when we were, like, on quarantine, you're all, goodness gracious, that was a while ago, but it feels like yesterday sometimes. But that was I spent a lot of time baking. Like, I was baking all sorts of things. That was something that helped my sanity as we were, like, trapped in the house because I'm not a homebody. I'm out and about. But seeing that that wasn't an option when we were basically quarantined in our houses, I was like, "Okay, what is it that I could do with myself, right?" And one of the things was just finding different things to bake. We had a lot of time on our hands, right, during that time period. But again, it doesn't have to be that. It's whatever it is for you. Is it gardening? Is it walking? Is it spending time with friends? Is it, there's so many hobbies. I can list like hundreds of hobbies. But what is it for you that brings you joy? And what is it that you feel like, you know what, let me try to reconnect with that part of myself? Maybe it's something creative, right? Maybe it's something active. Maybe you are at home. Maybe you're not at home. Like their hobbies come in many different shapes or form, depending on your ability level, depending on your interest level. But the major thing to remember is it is really, 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 really important for you to make it a priority to have fun in your life, to have the moments of joy. And again, even though this is difficult to do, even in the hardest seasons, if you tell yourself, well, there's a lot of things you can tell yourself, but if you allow yourself, I should say, to also have those moments of peace and have those moments of joy. Your brain and your body can just take a break, right, from what's going on. It doesn't magically solve any problems. I wish we had a magic wand, right, to make all our problems magically go away, but that's not the solution, right? I mean, that's not an option. Well, unless there is some magic wand out there that I don't know of. But it's more to say your brain and body get the break that they deserve, right? From whatever it is that you're going through. Um, and Okay, I think you know what's so weird, you all? I was seeing you all's comments and then it like took a pause. This is so bizarre. Oh, gotta love technology. So I was seeing them start to come in. I'm sure you all I know you all respond because you're such a great group. But yeah, it literally just like pause. I saw some of yours. Oh, I see one more coming in. It's so bizarre with technology. I never know week to week what it's doing. Hi from Dixon, Illinois. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We're about to wrap up mental health moment, but if you all ever miss a mental health moment, you can always go to Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page. You can always catch the replays on there. Um, they're all kind of labeled and whatnot. So you can always go there to watch any mental health moment if you miss any. Hi from East Hartford, Connecticut. Welcome. Someone said they like gospel music, dancing to the boots on the ground. I love that. Cupid shuffle, get loose, going to the gym, yoga, and biking. I like that. You know what I like too? That is so great because that is such a huge range of things that you enjoy. Like that's a beautiful thing. All right. Like that's very neat actually. So beautiful, beautiful. And again, there's not really a right or wrong answer provided again that we're doing things that are healthy for our minds and bodies. But I love that. The conversation is very interesting. Thank you. You're absolutely welcome. But again, as I wrap up today's mental health moment, I do want to remind you that it's really important. It's really easy to forget to have fun. It's really easy to forget to have joy. If that is the case for you in any way, shape, or form, if you literally have to put it on your calendar, then you do that as a start. If you're a person, and it depends, for some of you all, this is not a problem for you. You're like, nope, I will schedule. I already have my joy scheduled, or, I already have my fun time scheduled, which is great. And for some of you, this may be something you want to work on more. I literally had a conversation recently with someone that was like, you know what? Yep, I need to find ways to do something for fun for me, right? Because they were doing things for everybody else around them, which is all good, right? Oh gosh, I'm going to start a whole nother mental health moment here, but we talk at length and mental health moment about self-awareness. So first step is always self-awareness. So if you recognize today, you're like, you know what? Yeah, I didn't realize I'm doing things for everyone else around me, but I didn't have any me time. I didn't have the joy in my life. I didn't stop to, right, like think about what is it that I've done for fun? What is it that I've done that made me smile and gave me joy? Right? If you're like in that mindset where you recognize that, yay for you. And then we take the steps to make sure you do insert though that time for you. And again, if you have to schedule on your calendar, that's okay. Someone here from Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome. I find joy in listening to music, viewing psychological thriller movies, holistic healing techniques. I love that. So beautiful. Such a great thing. Listening to music, that is me too. I love different kind of music, just depending on the mood. Like it might be soft, it might be, something a little dance to. I usually play music when I'm cooking. Like it's all that's so lovely. I love that. And movies and holistic healing techniques. I love that, all of that. For you. Someone said, thank you for this. The grind is just that. And I needed to be reminded to do these things as self-care. Absolutely. And oh, I did say I was wrapping up, didn't I? No. Let me share one more thing now that you said that. um, because it's so interesting. So I work with a lot of different groups. This is something I share my message about self-care and, mental resets and all the things. And I also do want to say that for some of you, because I love that word when you say like the grind, hustle, hard, like work hard, all the things you please do, right? Like you can still have that and have self care too. Because sometimes when people hear the word self care, they just think of like the extreme version of it, which is like take a whole week off or, take a weekend off or go on a vacation for a week, which are great things. But that's only a piece of it, right? Like if you did nothing for your self-care all year long and went on one vacation for a week, you would not at all that would just not be helpful at all, right? Like burn yourself out all year and go on a 1 week vacation. That is not a healthy and intentional way to live at all, right? If that 1 week vacation though was in there and along with that on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, like you're making sure to take care of yourself and you're working on having the mindset to say, okay, I do deserve to have self care. I deserve to have joy. I deserve to have fun no matter what is going on in my life. That's a different way of living, right? Two totally different ways of living. So I'm just glad you brought that up because you can have the productivity, you can have work hard. Sometimes for some of you, maybe it's working a lot of hours. Like all those things are still possible and taking care of yourself too. But it starts with your mindset, you all. Okay. So as I wrap up, again, just as a reminder, takeyourmentalreset.com is where you can go. You can join my free new community. It's the Mental Reset community. So we're in there working on taking our minutes. Speaking of which, checking in with ourselves, supporting one another. That is the whole intention. And it's a brand new community, as I mentioned. Would love to have you in there. Takeyourmentalreset.com. Tell all your friends because it's free. Too. And I think that's the last announcement. The other announcement I put in there earlier today. Okay. I mean, earlier this live. So yeah, that's all of announcements. But again, I will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed. Have an amazing week, and I will see you all next week. Okay. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.